office, quite like Mr. Trump. So, how much would you pay to see Donald Trump's True Social posts first?
Well, let's put that question to Irene Aldridge from Able Alpha Trading. Irene, this raises quite a few different questions. Paid access to early information from the White House. Could that be interpreted as monetizing insider trading?
Absolutely. I think this is a big area that's completely gray, because this is completely unprecedented that the United States president of the United States, is actually selling his announcements and decisions to a select crowd of market participants ahead of everybody else. Now, it's true that the market data field has been very, very active, and actually our firm has been selling data to other hedge funds, but it's data that we derive in quantitative analysis. But it's not nearly of the same scale as the president of the United States, of course, and the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the top regulator in the United States. They have a very clear policy about private information and public information, and they want to ensure that general public, investing public, has the same access to all the information as all the privileged hedge funds. And that principle goes back to the SEC founding in the 1930s, after the Great Depression. So this is really the SEC, the regulator's job, is to ensure equal information distribution and to ensure market efficiency, that market efficiency is taken to the highest extent, that everybody has the same chance in the financial markets, and therefore people are not afraid to invest into markets because the markets are rigged, for example, like there are potentially in some other countries. And this has always been the strength of the U.S. capital markets. So now we're faced with this really, really interesting dilemma. So what do we think about the president, who is actually actively monetizing not just his platform, but also his opinions or his decisions? So I actually took a poll of my hedge fund friends, and I asked, so what do you think? Is this going somewhere? And surprisingly, a lot of them said that President Trump's notes or decisions or posts are actually very, very noisy. There's very little content relative to the noise ratio, so they would not subscribe, and they thought it was more of a marketing gimmick to promote his platform rather than anything else. But
yeah, very interesting, Irene, that there's so many different sort of aspects and angles to this. We're out of time, I'm afraid, but thanks very much for sharing with us your thoughts. Irene Aldridge there from Able Alpha Trading. I'll be back shortly with Business Today. Keep it here on BBC News.